Baby Hands has been somewhat of a running joke over here in PSVR land, with a few of us being genuinely curious about the sandbox nature of the game and wondering how much fun it might be. And a whole lot more of us thinking it's just a total joke. Of the two camps, I fell into the former, with Baby Hands bringing to mind an era when games took more risks and were far more experimental, like Incredible Crisis, Mr. Mosquito, or even Stretch Panic. Baby Hands isn't going to blow anyone away, but during the 3 hours I spent in this silly little sandbox, I had quite a bit of fun. The first thing you'll notice about Baby Hands is a disturbing lack of options. In a game like this, you'll want options for smooth turning, floor offset, volume controls, and likely even an accessibility option to walk around just by holding a button. But instead you get practically nothing outside of a few options for skin color. Which leaves us with mandatory quick turning, barely audible background music, and one of the funniest locomotion systems I've seen yet in VR, crawling around with your hands. Luckily, the environment you're given to explore isn't exactly huge. It's comprised of just a couple bedrooms, a family room, 2 baths, and a kitchen, so getting from one end of the map to the other shouldn't make you work too hard. But you do literally have to put one hand in front of the other and pull yourself around on the floor, which I guarantee you is as stupid as it sounds, but also really funny. The great thing about Baby Hands, though, is that there's just so much stuff to do. You're constantly discovering new items to use, new games to play, new challenges to complete, and collectibles to find. I was absolutely, no question about it, 100% convinced that I'd run out of things to do in about 20 minutes or so. But this little sandbox is packed with about 3 hours of content. There are targets to shoot, castles to build, puzzles to solve, and my favorite, the augmented reality hunt you go on with this OG Game Boy. There are also countless pop culture references from the 80s and 90s if you look around. Okay, I know I sound pretty hyped on Baby Hands, but sadly, we need to head back to reality for a minute. Baby Hands does a lot of things right by letting me pick up and throw almost everything in the environment, and almost always rewards experimentation. But there are just so many problems here that still haven't been addressed even a month after launch. There's an annoying VR grid that pops up whenever you turn your body at all. The sound levels are all over the place, with the background music being almost non-existent. I'm not kidding, I had to blast the game volume in post for this review, so you could hear all the music you're missing out on. And the volume for sound effects are either missing, or turned up to 11. And strangely enough, for a game that seems inspired by cartoons, the colors seem drab for some reason, like someone turned the saturation down too much. There are odd physics, occasionally crappy frame rates, and it doesn't seem like I can ever save my progress. So after spending 3 hours during my initial Let's Play, I was starting over from scratch the next time I started the game up. And if that wasn't bad enough, some of the challenges seem glitched, so I'm not even totally confident that the Platinum Trophy is attainable. If Baby Hands gets a huge patch to address all of these issues, then I think it could be a lot of fun. But there's still that $20 price tag to contend with. If it had released at a much lower budget price of like $7 or $8, it would have been pretty hard not to recommend. But when you look at what other PSVR games you can get for $20 in the PlayStation Store, everything from awesome adventures like Resident Evil 7 or Astrobot Rescue Mission to much more polished sandboxes like Job Sim, Baby Hands starts to lose a lot of its appeal and quickly falls into wait for a deep sale territory.